Hi guys. My name is Yenisbel Hernandez, and I'm going to be conducting the Zoom today on the 4th edition task list section G. Welcome. Let's just start with the same thing that we always start with, which is the disclaimer that it states that this study group was created by and for students pursuing a BCBA or BCABA certification. None of the members are BCBAs or BCABAs at this time. The discussions, collaborations, questions, and suggestions during these meetings are meant to help all members have a better understanding of the BACB 4th edition task list concepts. However, the team leaders who are students and all other students are responsible for verifying the accuracy of the information provided during each meeting for their own understanding to successfully prepare for the BCBA exam. It must be known that all students in the field of applied behavior analysis, we must act in a professional and ethical manner at all times, and let's remember not to share any specific questions that we have learned from the test or any paid resources like mocks and stuff like that. And if we use anything that is from an open source, let's give credit to those who deserve it and don't give any specific information from your clients. Okay, guys, thank you so much for listening. Let's start. Like always, the resources that I mainly use is the Pass the Big ABA book or manual is the 7th edition. That's where I'm getting my pages. And the questions are created by me. Okay, ready?
All right.
Here, again, today I tried to do a little bit of easy ones, but I am focusing on tricky ones so we can differentiate the things. So let's go for it. Yenny has a new client. She talked to the client and asked him to provide evaluations from other ABA agencies, a speech therapy evaluation, and any other documentations from other therapies and doctor records. Which part of the FDA is this? A, direct assessment, B, indirect assessment, C, direct and indirect assessment, or D, none of the above?
B.
Indirect assessment. Okay, so today I wanted to talk over like why do you think it's indirect assessment? Like point out the keywords in the question or the scenario.
I said it's B because it's indirect because she's asking him to provide other evaluations from somebody else. So she's not firsthand seeing what they observed.
Yes. I agree with you. Anybody else wants to give me another, any other reason why they said that? Okay. Let's go to the answer. So the answer is B, indirect assessment. And yes, like you said, it's providing evaluations. Which part of FDA? Then is the indirect assessment. Then the little trick that I did is that I wrote, she talked to the client. And like always, just because she talked to the client doesn't mean that it's direct, because the information that she's going to be analyzing is the indirect one. Am I sharing the PowerPoint or didn't?
Yes, you are sharing it. It should be FBA.
Can you correct it? Can you correct it for the people who might watch it? The FBA? I'm sorry.
What did I do wrong?
Yeah, you wrote FDA instead of FBA.
FPA.
With a B, as in
B as in boy instead of D as in dog.
Oh, yes. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, guys. And yes, I wanted to point out, if you see any misspelling or any incorrect thing, please point it out.
Yep.
I'm going to fix the PowerPoint before I share it with you guys. Okay, this one is, Lara has worked with her client, Juan, for a year. His maladaptive behaviors so far have been elopement and task refusal. Juan started a new medication on Saturday. When Lara comes back to work on Monday, Juan engages in elopement 5 times in an hour section, 3 minutes each. In SIB, 3 times for 5 minutes each time during an hour session. And in task refusal, 1 time per 1 hour session and lasted 6 minutes. What is the best thing Lara should do? A, conduct an FBA as soon as possible because, I wrote it right here. Okay, conduct an FBA as soon as possible because SIB is a dangerous behavior for the client. B, continue with her current treatment plan for the other behaviors because that's what she has written in the program. C, tell Juan's mom about the SIB incident and Lara needs to report it to her supervisor. Or D, recommend that Juan's parents contact his doctor.
D.
D?
D. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The first thing, yeah,
So why is it D?
because of the medicine he just started.
Awesome, guys. So yeah, we're learning already to pinpoint the key things. Did you notice what is it that I did to trick your eye or to at least confuse you and make you a little, oh my God, it's too much information?
The times that you put, how long it lasted, the SIB.
Yeah. Do we need the time to really answer the question?
No.
No. That was information that is extra there that we didn't need. In this case, it would have been very effective to just look at the scenario. It's long and just read the question and then focus and don't get nervous while we're reading like all the, duration and the times and all those things, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, yeah, well, that's the answer. Recommended that Juan's parents go with it, go to the doctor. And the specific one that I took is from page 103, which says that you should recommend seeking a medical consultation if there's any reasonable possibility that our referred behavior is a result of a medication side effect or some biological causes, which I think we're gotten really good at this at G this week. Okay, so now, can you read, I'm gonna read the question, because it's a long scenario. The question is, the total duration per session for SIB is / and the duration per occurrence for task refusal is / So, Lara has worked with her client, Juan, for a year. His maladaptive behavior so far have been elopement and task refusal. Juan started a new medication on Saturday. When Lara comes back to work on Monday, Juan engages in elopement 5 times in an hour session, 3 minutes each. In SIB, 3 times for 5 minutes each time during an hour session. And in task refusal, 1 time per 1 hour session and lasted 6 minutes. Then the question is again, the total duration per session for SIB is / and the duration per occurrence for task refusal is / A, 15 minutes. Okay,
Yeah.
so you think it's A? Let me read all the, just for the people who are going to be listening for it later.
Okay.
I'm going to say A, 15 minutes and 6 minutes. B, 15 minutes and 5 minutes. C, 6 minutes and 15 minutes. And D, 6 minutes and 6 minutes. And I think Jennifer said A, right? Was it you, Jennifer? Okay.
Yeah, someone else too.
Who else said yes?
A, me.
Okay.
Minerva.
Hi, Minerva. Okay, so we have 2A. Anybody else with an A? Everybody agrees with A then?
Yeah, I'm worried about why nobody blocked him though. I'm just
That's a theory, but use that for the test. Like, are you gonna?
I know.
Worrying about that in the test. God, that's funny. I didn't even think about it when I was writing. I was like just trying to figure out the numbers. Okay, so let's see if it's A, guys. Hey, good job. Nice. You are not letting yourself get confused today. That's awesome. You're gonna finish super fast. By the way, everybody got it right today? That one, right?
Mm.
So I'm going to do a very professional thing. And I'm going to go, yippee!
So funny.
You guys are not frustrated at all tonight. That's awesome. Everybody was tired, so.
That's because you're not trying to be our friend today, remember?
Okay, let's. No, but you know what? I think it's because I've been so mean in the past that now
You are never mean. You're funny.
you're not letting yourself get tricked anymore. You're like, no, Yenny, you're not catching me tonight. So, there's one that is really tricky. So, but I changed it a little because my son's therapist, she's like, you need to give them a break, you know? You need to be nicer. I'm like, no, that's not be nice. Okay, let me just take this away. Let me see. Okay, Jennifer was contacted by a parent of a child with autism. The parent reports that her son is a picky eater. He screams, cries, rubs his belly, and runs away from the table when the parent presents the dinner. Dinner is typically homemade food, meat, rice, and beans. The parent states, he is very stubborn. He would eat his dinner with no problem last month. Now he just decided to stop eating dinner and wants to run around. Also, the child eats breakfast with normal adaptive behavior. Breakfast is typically strawberries and almond milk shake and homemade bread. Jennifer should / Okay, let me read it all. So for the people that are listening. A, begin an FBA to determine the function of the child's maladaptive behavior in the morning. Recommend the parent to seek a medical consultation to rule out medical causes for problem behaviors. There is no need to recommend medical consultation because the child was eating the same type of meal a month ago and he had no maladaptive behavior. D, there is no need to recommend medical consultation because the child eats breakfast with no maladaptive behavior. Or E, the answer would be C and D, the last ones that I read. Okay, think about this one, guys. To me, this one was very tricky.
It is. It's very tricky.
Finally!
I would say A.
Okay, so we're gonna
D.
go with 1A.
Well, no, wait a second. Well, I would say B also, and then A after they do that.
Okay, but if you were in the test, you would do with B.
Yeah, B. Mm-hmm.
I would do B. Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 Bs. Anybody else thinks something differently? Okay.
I was like E. I was saying E. It's not E.
E? Okay. Okay, so who wants to explain why A? Why B?
Well, because we might not have enough information with what else is going on. She's concerned about the eating, but there might be some other things going on.
Mm-hmm.
He rubs his belly and runs away from the table. So, I mean, it could be many things. It could be behavioral, but it could also be medical. So we don't know.
Yeah. It's always good to rule that out. So
Yeah.
if you
Yeah,
just
rule it
ask if
out.
the child has
But what about,
And also, he would eat it before, but now he doesn't. So maybe he doesn't feel good with it. I mean, it could be.
Those beans.
maybe there's an allergy.
Yeah.
couldn't it be that he's just behaving badly now? He just started behaving bad now? Like he just started.
I mean, it could be reinforced, but something that was reinforced, but it could also be medical. So you always have to rule it out. So if there's an allergy that happened all of a sudden, you know, you always have to figure that out first.
Okay, let's see the answer. So you guys are correct.
Mm-hmm.
You said everything that I was going to say. That's awesome, guys. That's really, really good. And I thought you were going to be tricked by the fact that he used to be okay with it, and so it shouldn't be allergies. But I'll tell you my son's story. He used to all of the things that I listed for dinner, he's allergic to. But for breakfast, he's not. So it could just easily be that he's allergic to those things, and we don't know. And sometimes the allergies don't come out in the body that you can see it, and it's going to be clear. So it's good. You guys got it. Awesome. You're going to feel good tonight. Okay. So conduct a preliminary assessment of the client in order to identify refer problem. That's G03. I wanted to put this information here and then go to another source and get more, but I didn't have chance to. But all I'm going to say is that I didn't prepare a question because I wanted to keep it exactly what I read in the book, which are preliminary assessment, direct or indirect. I'm sorry, let me rewind. Are preliminary assessments direct or indirect assessments? And then according to what I read in the past ABA book of Mano, it's indirect assessments. So I specifically quoted from the book. Conduct an indirect assessment to start your identification and hypothesis process. And then they also say information is gathered indirectly via interviews, rating scales, screening forms, etc. I read it and reread it. They said nothing about direct assessments. But in the other Zooms, I heard that other people had found some information about direct assessments. So I'm going to wait and look up all the other information. Mm-hmm. That's why I didn't add any questions about that. And there you can see it also proves the point that we were talking about, I think last week, that sometimes, one book tells you one thing and then the other book tells you something totally different. So it makes it harder for us because we don't really know what is it they're gonna ask. Yep. Okay, this one I think it's pretty easy. I think we already passed the hard ones, so kudos to you guys. Awesome. Robert has a cold and fever. When he has a cold and fever, he cries. The cold and the fever are the causes of Robert's crying behavior. Is there a mentalistic information in the above scenario? Yes or no?
How do you know that's a cause? I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the question. Yes. So what the question is there mentalistic information in the above scenario? Is it yes or no?
I think yes.
Yes. Okay, let's see.
The explanation of the cause is the same as, it's kind of like circular reasoning there.
Yeah, there's no explanation on why that's the cause. Yeah.
Actually, Nadia, you're completely correct. That's exactly what the book said. The book said that it's circular reasoning. So it's yes. Awesome. Oh my God. I'm feeling sick today. I don't have like the big energy. So
well, good thing you don't have the energy today. Good thing you're low energy today. It's that good Latino block going on there.
My throat hurts so much. I'm having trouble like being all energetic.
I love it.
Oh, you think I have energy?
Yeah. I joke at work because I'm Mexican, and I always say with certain clients I got to bring my Latina down. I can't be too loud or too overly enthused, because then they react to the noise differently. Oh, yeah. So I'm like, I got to bring my Latina down with this one.
I tend to be. I am shy. I think I'm shy in between among my people.
I have a hard time imagining that, but okay.
I don't think you're shy at all.
I do like teaching, though. I do have fun teaching. Okay, let's go to the next one. But for real, guys, you should be very proud of yourself. It really is really good. Okay, so far I don't think we have gotten any wrong. We say Robert has a fever. When he has fever, he cries. The fever causes Robert's crying behavior. Robert is crying because he has fever. From the above scenario, the following is a mentalistic sentence. Let me read it. Robert has fever. When he has fever, he cries. The fever is the cause of Robert's crying behavior. Robert is crying because he has fever, or A and B, or C and D.
Are you asking which is mentalistic?
Read the question if it's going to help you.
Yeah.
What is the question telling you? What are you interpreting from the question, not the scenario, the question?
D.
From the behavior.
Okay. So we have one with D. You want to read it again, or you want to think about it better?
I think C.
And then another one for C.
I say F.
And another one for F. We have 3 different choices, guys. So let's at least.
I think it's F. I'm gonna go for F.
So now we have 2 F. Anybody else wants to give something to D and C, or that's it? F is the majority. Share the love. Share the love. Okay. So I guess nobody really feels. Everybody more strongly with F.
F is good. Yeah.
F.
Okay, let's go for it. Oh my God! Yay! Awesome, guys.
We winning. We on
Yeah,
the
because
winning
A and B are facts. Robert has fever,
Mm-hmm.
and when he has fever, he cries. So both of those are observable.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Good thinking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, let me see the next one. Okay, this one I found it in Mayor, and it was an aha moment for me, especially to learn how to talk, like, because I know we keep on saying we cannot talk in mentalistic terms, but I'm going to continue to say the same thing that I've said in the other Zooms with you guys. It's hard for us to do it because everybody else talks in mentalistic terms. So how we're going to talk in non-mentalistic terms every single day of our lives, especially when you're dealing with a doctor who's a professional and is talking in mentalistic terms, and then you're dealing with a teacher who is also a professional, and then another therapist. So this one, I want to get it drilled into my brain. And hopefully, if you guys want to, I'll drill it into your brains. So here's what I got from Mayer. This is a quote. If biological and physiological variables are not causes of behavior, then why is assessing them important? A, those conditions can serve as antecedent influences of behavior. B, those conditions can be controlled. Those conditions can be controlling the behavior. C, those conditions can serve as the consequence of the behavior. D, none of the above, or E, all of the above. So whatever the answer is, guys, it's at the continuation of the quote that I got from Mayer.
I think A.
Okay, I'll take an A. Nadia is going for A. We should do it like invent money or something. Ding, ding, ding.
We should do a token system.
I was thinking of actually getting the app that the kids have in school. I downloaded it.
Dojos.
The one, what is it called? I just downloaded
Dojos.
I was going to ask Damie and the rest of, if you guys think it's a good idea, because I think it would be awesome in the sense that I'll give you the points and you would hear it in your, my daughter says that she loves the sound. She's like, woohoo, yeah.
Yeah.
We need to figure out a way to reinforce your behavior of getting the answer.
Yeah, I thought about that the other day, because even when you do quizzes in Kahoot, that it makes a little noise, it goes ding when you get it right. Yeah. I feel so good about that.
I know. Okay. Going back, so we have one for A. Who gets the other ones? Think fast. It's going away. Woohoo! I'm getting my energy back, guys. The thing is that I was making soup all day long because I was sick and the soup came out horrible. So I had to drink the horrible soup. and nothing was
Oh no.
fixed. Someone disappointed and my belly hurts. I only have one person for A. I'm making small talk and nobody is brave enough to say anything else. That's it.
A.
E.
Let's go for A.
I'm between A and C, so I'm just gonna say C to go against everyone.
I'll say E.
We got like 3 A's, right? 3
I'll
A's.
say E. I'll
Oh,
say
look
E.
at that. We got an E. A, C, and E.
Oh,
I
see? When I force
just
you guys,
guess.
you get out of your shell. A, E, and C. But what is the majority?
A.
A. Okay. So who can explain A to me? Why do you think it's A?
Because if it's biological, it's already a part of how the body of this person is functioning. So it's an antecedent. It could be something that, is kind of pre-existing.
Okay.
And it's just kind of, affecting the behavior. So I'm thinking of it as the A in the ABC here.
Okay. And how about C? Somebody wants to defend C?
No C. Either A or B.
Oh!
I mean, I don't know.
Nice job, guys.
Mhm.
It is A. So the exact quote goes, if biological and physiological variables are not causes of behavior, so think about it. If he has a tumor in his head and he's talking, and the tumor, usually the doctor would say, the tumor is causing him to talk, blah, 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 like making noise. So as behavior therapists, we cannot say that it's causing it.
No.
We're not allowed to say it. Okay, so sorry, I stumbled on there. I went off track for a bit. Okay, if biological and physiological variables are not causes of behavior, then why is assessing them important? And then it continues. It is true that these variables do not control behavior. However, those conditions can serve as antecedent influences of behavior. Tricky, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more tricky for like real life things than to the test. Okay, so if I can say he's crying because he has fever, or the allergies causes the problem behavior, what can we say instead? Especially when we're dealing with professionals who we respect, right? So I looked it up very closely into the Mayer book. I even took a picture to send it to you guys so you would say and you would see it. So here's what we would usually say, even us. He is crying because he has fever, or as a result of the fever, he is crying. Or we would say the allergies causes problem behavior. Am I correct or am I exaggerating with that one?
No, you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But I looked it up in Mayer and I looked at very carefully the words that they were saying. And the words that they were using are words like, the crying may be related to the fever. The fever may relate to the crying. The allergies may interfere with adaptive behaviors, or the allergies may influence the problem behavior. So just for ours, go ahead.
That doesn't make it a fact if you put may.
Yes.
Exactly.
So the words that I kept seeing throughout, he continued to say may. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. He continued to say may. He continued to say related and interfere and influence.
Right.
Also, there's a little part where they said that they actually conducted a functional analysis, and there's the only time when they took away the may, but they still said interfere or influence, but they never said causes. So I guess the key thing for us is we cannot say because this, that, or causes, or as a result. Anything relating to saying that is causation, we have to stay away from it.
Yeah.
So I guess we can like create little cards with the may relate to, may interfere, may influence until we get used to it.
Yeah, when I took my statistics course when I was getting my master's, I remember the professor saying all the time, emphasizing on the fact that it's much better to say correlates with than to say causes.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you think it is caused by something, or it, like you say, it may be caused by, you don't know for a fact that it's caused. So correlates is a much better way to say the same thing because you're looking at patterns.
Yeah.
So correlation is better than causation, right?
Well, I love to use that word. Now that's my easy go-to word. Maybe I could add it here. I just didn't want to add it because it's not in the book where I read it. But I always use, there's a correlation. We were talking to a parent that every time it's a full moon, her son acts up. So whenever the full moon comes, she's like, well, he's acting up because the full moon. So I'm like, when I talk to the therapist, I'm like, it might be a correlation, but we cannot say that there's a causation. We cannot say that that's what is causing it.
Right.
So that's like the biggest example ever, because how are we gonna ever test that? Okay.
You can't.
So if Skinner hears us say he's crying because he has fever, he's going to be very mad and disappointed, guys. And he's going to say, no, stop it. But if you use behavior analytic terms, he's going to, look at his happy face. Look at him, how happy he is. He's going to say, yeah. I was acting silly yesterday at night. And the next slide, since I was so silly here, the next slide, I'm going to be as professional as possible. Ready? I found this very weird picture in the thing. Okay, so here you go. The cow has an illness called crazy flying cow. And that is why she went up a power line pole. How can we change the above sentence into behavior analytic terms? Can you analyze the very weird question?
You are very creative. Very.
No, you know what happened? I was Googling confused because I wanted to put a visual for confused, and this one popped out. I'm like, what? It truly is confusing me because where are those horns coming from? Where is she standing on? Like, it's so weird. So, how can we change the above sentence into behavior analytic terms, guys? And I'm not giving you a multiple choice.
No.
I'm gonna be nice and not give you multiple choice.
And maybe you can change where it says, and that is why. You can change that to what you had said before about maybe why she went up a power line pole.
Mm-hmm. Or what is the other word that we were seeing?
Affecting.
Correlate,
or maybe affecting.
So correlate.
I think that the part we have to change is, and that is why.
Okay, let's see. The cow illness called crazy flying cow may have influenced the cow's behavior of going up the power line pole. It's the same sort of thing that we said, right? Because we use the words. We could also say the cow's illness called crazy flying cow correlates with her.
Correlates with, yeah.
Is that real, this picture?
It's a what?
Real? Is it real? Like how?
I don't think. I really don't think so.
I think this is some kind of weird advertisement because it's like mounted and simple, and it has like elk horns on it.
You know what made me think that it wasn't real? The horns. Not the fact that it was on top of that thing. It was the horns. Anyways, it caused a lot of, reflection from our part. Okay.
We have less than a minute.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's stop the sharing, log out, and then I'll go back in. Okay, guys?
All right.
Okay. Flying cow.
Should have left the cow.
You're gonna miss the cow.
Trying to help it down the pole.
Let me see how I can stop this thing. I am meeting. Bye-bye. See you later.
you.